If you're planning to move to the UK, you definitely need a visa. Now, the visa you get depends on you and your circumstances. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the main types of UK visas, the easiest one to get, and the easiest one to give you a residence permit in the UK, based on my own opinion. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chinemere. If it's your first time on this channel, hello, you are most welcome. I make content around going to the UK, especially via study visa and then work visa sometimes, and I also tell you how to get around in the UK. If this kind of content will interest you, you may want to do well to like this video, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. And if you are a returning subscriber, you are more than amazing. Thank you for joining us today again. Of course, you know, UK is not like some countries where you say you can stay in your country and get a residence permit. No, you don't do that in the UK. So in the UK, there are different visas and none of them would grant you residence permit from your country. So you need a legal visa to move to the UK, and when you move, you need to satisfy some conditions before you can now get your permanent residency. So without wasting much time, you guys, let's get on with the video. The main types of UK visas right now are visitor visas, work visas, business visas, family visas, study visas, and settlement visas. Now relax, and I'm going to tell you brief details of these visas, then you can do more research yourself. Let's start with the visitor visas. So visitor visa is one of the, let's say, simplest visas you can get in the UK. Yes, it is simple so long as you meet all the conditions and the criteria requested. And with visitor visa, they don't even have so many, conditions to be met and all. Just satisfy that you are coming to the UK legally to visit, and you go back to your country as soon as possible. That's all you need for visitor visa. Now, this visa can last for anything about 6 months and above. There are many categories of visitor visas, but the most popular one, or the main one, is the standard visitor visa. And to an extent, this standard visitor visa can cover other categories of this visitor visa. You can get a standard visitor visa if you are coming to the UK to visit family, tourism, business purposes, medical reasons, and so many other reasons. If it is your first time of getting a UK visitor visa, you are likely to be given only 6 months on your visa. Now, if after the 6 months you go back and you apply again, you can now apply for 2 years visitor visa, and then 5 years, and then of course the 10 years one. Even though you've been given a 10 years visitor visa on your passport, you can't spend more than 6 months at a go in the UK. So you have to go back after 6 months, then come back. And the only good thing about this one is that it will save you the stress of going to apply for visa, waiting for visa and all. But the main thing is, once you come with it, you can't spend more than 6 months at a go in the UK. That is just it about the visitor visa. It is quite easy to get, but it doesn't really guarantee anything about permanent residency in the UK. The next one, and one of the most popular ones, is the work visas. There are so many work visas right now. So work visa enables you to come from your country to the UK to work in certain companies. The most popular one is the tier 2, the skilled worker visa. Everybody knows about this one. People are killing themselves over skilled worker visa. Why there are so many other work visas in the UK that people have not explored and that have been sponsoring people to the UK? Those ones include global talent visa, high potential individual visa, scale up visa, global business mobility visa, health and care worker visa, minister of religion visa, international sports person visa, frontier worker visa, overseas domestic worker visa, and temporary worker visa. But I will advise you, if you can, you should check out these visas because they are really good. Yeah, if I give details of them in this video, I'm not sure we will leave here today. So maybe with time I could just pick one of them and talk about one of them in detail, or I may just leave the research totally for you to continue from here. With healthcare worker visa, you don't really have to get all those big qualifications to get those care worker visa. You rest for going for the global talent and the rest. You have to be a highly skilled person in your field. The next category of visa in the UK right now that is actually sponsoring people to the UK is the business visa. So with the business visa, you can just come to the UK, set up a business or innovate a business. If you feel this business will sell, or if you have the money to start up this business in the UK, there are some criteria, of course, to this visa. The main business visas that are available right now are the innovator visa and the startup visa. The innovator visa is a visa that allows you to come to the UK and start up an innovative business. For this visa category, you should be above 18 years. And to start up this your innovative business, you must have at least £50,000 investment funds. And you would also have a business idea that would be endorsed by the endorsing body. With the innovator visa, if you want to settle in the UK, you can settle after 3 years on your innovator visa. The second business visa is a startup visa. Now, the difference between this one and the innovator visa is that with a startup visa, you are not guaranteed permanent residency in the UK. Then you don't have to have £50,000 in your investment funds. You can just start up this business if the endorsing body endorses the business to be started. A startup visa is usually for 2 years, but if after 2 years you still want to stay longer in the UK to get your permanent residency, you can now switch to another type of visa. You would normally switch to an innovator visa. In my next video, I will talk about switching visas, how to switch visas from within the UK, and then to give you an idea of how you can switch from this startup to an innovator visa. The next visa category is family visas. So many visas fall under this family visas. Some of them are the spouse visa or married partner visa, fiancé visa, adult dependent relative visa, child dependent visa, parent visa, and ancestry visa. The last visa category is the student visa, and this is one of the most popular UK visas to get because it is quite easy to get but financially demanding. So long as you are above 15 years, you can come to the UK on a study visa, and then with time you can also get your permanent residency in the UK. For a student visa, you need to be able to speak, write, and read in English to a required level. You need consent from your parents if you are aged 16 or 17 years or under. You need sufficient funds to pay for your course and your living expenses, and this is where the trouble lies. You also need a place on a course at a required level, and then you need a valid offer of study from an approved student sponsor. So most universities in the UK are recognized as student sponsor. To issue you your visa, they will ask you, who is your sponsor? Your sponsor is your university. Just like when you're going for a work visa, you need a sponsor. So yes, that's that about the student visa. Now we'll go on to how long does it take to get a permanent residency with each of these visas. So like I've already categorized all these visas, I'm going to tell you how long it takes to get a permanent residency with each of these visas and which of them do I think is the best. For a visitor visa, you are not really guaranteed permanent residency, although if after 10 years you've proven yourself to be worthy, yeah, you can get a permanent residency. But imagine if you have to come for 6 months, go back, come again for 2 years, and then come again and then 5 years, and then go for the 10 years one. It's going to take like forever, because add like 10 from plus 5 is already 15 years, plus 2 is 17 years, and then add the 6 months, and then add the time in between. It's going to be about 20 years to get a permanent residency if you are going through a visitor visa. So not advisable. This is not advisable at all. Then the next one, which is work visa. Most work visas would normally guarantee a permanent residency in the UK after 5 years. So even if it is a scale-up visa, a tier 2 worker visa, a carer visa, health and care worker visa, and the rest of them, global talent visa, they would normally guarantee a permanent residency in the UK after 5 years. Then business visas. For business visas, you may be guaranteed permanent residency after 3 years. Just like the innovator visa, you can get your indefinite leave to remain in the UK after 3 years. But with a startup visa, you cannot get your permanent residency with that. You still need to switch to an innovator visa, spend the next 3 years before getting your indefinite leave to remain. So I would say on average, it takes between 3 to 5 years to get your permanent residency with a business visa. With family visas, you may get your residency between 3 years or less, or 3 years and above. With study visas, you normally need to be in the UK for 10 years, and in those 10 years you need to be actively studying. You don't need to switch to a post-study route and then come back. No, you need to be actively studying on a study visa to guarantee permanent residency after 10 years. So yes, this is the longest. Study visa is the longest that can guarantee a permanent residency in the UK. However, it is the easiest visa to get, but it is also financially demanding. You ask me, which one do you think is the easiest or the best visas to come to the UK with? Honestly, it's going to be a bit difficult. If you've got the family visa, which you are married to someone, of course that one is a bit easy as well, because you're not going to be spending so much money. And when you come over here, so long as the person is already a British citizen, you don't really have to spend so much money. Now that one is aside, because you have to get somebody, marry the person, be sure you are in a genuine relationship with the person before going ahead with anything in this area. I think the two best visas for me are the work visa and the study visa. Now the business visa is good, but how many people have that £50,000 in bulk to show as your investment fund? Yeah, if you have it, it is obviously the best for you. But if not, then it is the work and the study visa. The work visa is the most relaxing visa, because when you come here, you are only working. You don't have to pay for tuition fee, you don't have to pay for so many things. You have to pay your bills, right? You pay your house rent and all, but you are not going to be paying for extra tuition fee. You are not restricted to working 20 hours a week and all. So yes, the best one, the bestest of them is the work visa. However, the work is not easy to get. So they all have pros, they have cons, you can be confused. Which one do I even go for? The study one is also okay. It is quite easy to get. So long as you've gotten a place in the university, you normally get your visa easily. And it's also easy to get your admission in the UK. But because it is financially demanding, some people are like, no, I don't want this. And because it takes longer time to get your permanent residency, people also shy away from it. But the main thing is, if you come to the UK with a study visa, you can also switch to a work visa, and that would shorten the length of time you'd need to get your permanent residency. If it is on a flat note, the best one is the work visa. So the end point of this video is that the work visa is the easiest and the best for me, from my opinion. For you, it can also be a different one. I've just mentioned these visas, and I didn't really give much details about them. You can go to gov.uk, pick the one you want, and research more about the one you want. If not, in my subsequent videos, you can let me know, and I'll bring them up one by one, and I'll talk about them one after the other. At this point, have you liked this video yet? You need to have you try and like this video, all right? And that's about it. I hope this video helps your relocation plan and journey. Until I see you again in the next video, to take care, stay safe, and bye.